This is Jennifer Mee.
Dog, I was to the corner. I heard the first gunshot. After the first gunshot, I ran.
At 15, Jennifer Mee became known as the Hiccup Girl due to her sudden, uncontrollable hiccups. She even appeared on various shows and events. Eventually, she was cured, and her fame diminished. However, Jennifer wasn't content and craved the spotlight. Along with her boyfriend, Lamont Newton, and another friend, Lauren Rayford, she orchestrated a robbery targeting victims she had met online. The trio lured a 22-year-old man to a vacant house, where they robbed and fatally shot him, taking $50 as their loot. As if Jennifer's crimes weren't enough, her behavior in court was astonishing. At 19, she was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. During her trial, a recorded call she made to her mother while in detention was played for the jury.
Hello?
Hi, Mama.
Hello, Jennifer. What's going on?
I'm in jail.
Why are you in jail?
From murder in the first degree.
Who'd you kill?
I ain't killed nobody. It all went wrong for me.
Who are you trying to kill, Jennifer?
Nobody. It wasn't even supposed to happen like that, Mom.
Jennifer was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Her co-defendants, Rayford and Newton, were also sentenced to life imprisonment for their roles in the murder. This is 19-year-old Brandon Spencer, who allegedly began shooting at a crowded Halloween party on the University of Southern California campus in Los Angeles.
Sorry for what happened to you, but he's life in prison.
4 individuals were injured in the shooting, but fortunately, there were no fatalities.
That if you are so intent on killing someone, that you're willing to shoot them, and at the same time open fire into a crowd.
After the shooting, Spencer was detained by the Los Angeles Police Department for questioning. A couple of days later, he was charged with 4 counts of attempted murder. During the trial, the prosecution argued that the shooting was the result of an ongoing feud between Spencer and a rival gang member, pointing out that Spencer was a known and documented gang member.
I'm not a bad person, but I made mistakes. But I'm not just some gangbanger that she tried to portray me as.
Despite the horrifying nature of Spencer's offenses, his actions during the trial shocked everyone present. Throughout the trial, Spencer maintained his innocence, but the jury did not agree. Spencer also pleaded his case, but the judge sentenced him to 40 years to life in prison for the 4 counts of attempted murder. When Spencer heard his sentence, this was his reaction. However, while Spencer's behavior raised eyebrows. This is 15-year-old Conrad Schaefer during his trial.
This was a 15-year-old who was out semi-automatic rifle shooting.
Schaefer shocked Ula County when he and his friends randomly started shooting at residences, resulting in the tragic death of 17-year-old David Guerrero, who was on his way to work. Before the shootings, Schaefer had convinced his father to purchase a .45 caliber high-point carbine and 100 rounds of ammunition. He allegedly took the gun from his house while his father was asleep, marking the beginning of the neighborhood's nightmare. Conrad Schaefer and 3 of his friends, David Damas, Victoria Rios, and Juan Muriel, terrorized the community for 2 weeks. They even invaded 22-year-old Eric Rupnerine's home and fatally shot him. During his trial, Schaefer had this to say to the families of the victims.
15 at a time, I'm really sorry for the things I've done. And I know I did wrong, and I know my apologies don't mean nothing to you. And I know it ain't gonna change how you feel about me.
The families of Eric Rupnerine also expressed their feelings.
He was my grandson. He was my helper to me and my wife. At this time, my family and I had no intention to forgive the guilty because of such a heinous and brutal crime that was done to my grandson, Eric Rupner.
Schaefer eventually pleaded guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder. With over 22 incidents of gunfire damaging homes and vehicles, he was sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences, with the judge stating that if Schaefer had been just 3 years older, he would have received the death penalty. This is Elisa Bustamante, a troubled 15-year-old girl who lived with her grandparents and siblings in St. Martin's, Missouri. On October 21, 2009, Bustamante lured her 9-year-old neighbor, Elizabeth Olton, into the woods behind her house. She strangled, stabbed, and slit the throat of the innocent girl, then buried her in a pre-dug grave.
I just wonder what it would be like just to kill someone. See the life just drain out of someone.
Then went to a church dance as if nothing had happened. If you thought Bustamante's crimes were reprehensible, brace yourself for her shocking conduct during the proceedings. The police found Olton's body 2 days later after Bustamante confessed to the murder. She was arrested and charged with first-degree murder and armed criminal action. She pleaded guilty to a reduced charge of second-degree murder in exchange for avoiding a trial and a possible life sentence without parole. At her sentencing hearing, Bustamante apologized to Olton's family and expressed regret for her actions. However, the judge was not moved by her remorse and sentenced her to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 35 years. She will be eligible for release in 2054 when she will be 60 years old. This is a 14-year-old Philip Chisholm.
He is pure evil, and evil can never be rehabilitated. You must imprison this killer for the rest of his life.
9th grader who's in court for murdering his 24-year-old school math teacher Colleen Reitzer on October 22, 2013. Colleen was known for her dedication to her students, and on that fateful day, she had asked Chisholm to stay after school for additional lessons. Little did she know that her kindness would lead to a horrific end. Chisholm came prepared with a knife, a change of clothes, and gloves. He followed her into a restroom where he took her life. His brutality didn't stop there. He robbed, assaulted, and abused her afterward. He disposed of her lifeless body by placing it in a garbage bin and dragging it behind the school in a futile attempt to cover up his crimes. Chisholm went into town and used Richard's credit card to buy a movie ticket. However, he was traced down and arrested by the police the next morning. He still had Colleen's blood on his hands. While the magnitude of Chisholm's crimes is daunting, his courtroom behavior will leave you in disbelief. Philip Chisholm faced multiple charges, including murder, aggravated rape, and armed robbery throughout the court proceedings. Chisholm displayed a shocking lack of remorse, even as the victim's father read his statement.
Killer knew exactly what he was doing and has never shown remorse.
Demeanor and actions demonstrated a complete disregard for the gravity of his crimes and the immeasurable pain he had inflicted on Colleen Reitzer's family, even in the face of a touching tribute by Colleen brother.
Put this animal behind bars for the maximum possible sentence. Do not give this coward the opportunity to shatter another family's lives.
Chisholm remained cold and unrepentant. His attorneys claimed that he was mentally unstable. That did work in February 2016.
Court will impose the mandatory life sentence for the murder of Colleen Reitzer and set a parole eligibility date of 25 years, the highest level our law allows.
However, while Chisholm's reaction could certainly be dismissed as an effect of a mental illness,